Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Vento Aureo, or Golden Wind if you prefer. And this is episode 7. So last time we watched 2 episodes, episodes 5 and 6, and in those episodes we had a boat. So our gang, Bruno's gang, or Bucciarati's gang, or however you want to say it, they go off, they're heading off to find Pulpo's treasure. And on the boat ride over, they end up being attacked by a stand where everyone is basically sucked into the space between the boat and a fake shell, basically, created from another boat. So there's actually 2 boats. One is kind of wrapped around the other, which is really interesting, actually. And all that's left in the end is Bruno and Baccio, I think his name is. It's going to take me some getting used to some of these names. I'm not super familiar with a lot of Italian names and all, so it's going to take me. I think it's a Baccio or something like that. Either way, he has this detective stand. He used to be a police officer and kind of got disillusioned by the corruption in the force. He had some bad experiences, ended up leaving the force, and eventually was found by Bruno and given a second chance. So his stand has the ability, this kind of, someone in the comments, I believe, compared it to the detective mode from Batman Arkham. The detective mode has in the Batman games allows you to see what happened in the past and all. It allows you to like analyze clues and different things from the surrounding area and piece together what happened between enemies or whatever else, these random thugs. And it's sort of like that. Baccio's stand allows him to pick a specific person, I guess, and then pick a specific amount of time in the past. So he goes with Narancia, and he chooses 5 minutes in the past. So it goes to 5 minutes, and his stand takes the form of Narancia and where Narancia was, just with a timer on the head. And so they're able to see exactly what happened to Narancia and how he was sucked into the space between the boats and everything. And they're able to follow him and stuff, follow where he went. And it's a really cool idea for a stand, but the problem I feel with it is that its practical application is only good for this kind of thing. Like, I'm sure the stand, which, by the way, I think is called Moody Blues, or is that the enemy stand? It's either a Baccio's or the enemy's stand. I don't remember which, but I believe it's a Baccio's. But it seems like it's a stand that has a specific skill. Maybe it has a good fighting, just general fighting ability, but it's like, how is he going to use this in a just general sense in like an everyday combat scenario? I don't know. I'm still interested to find out what the other members can do. We have Narancia Girga, who's the only one I think I remember the full name of. And I admit it's because I kind of have a bit of a crush on him. Narancia is adorable and lovable, and I'm just instantly in love with him. Definitely best boy. But I'm definitely interested to see what his stand is. Then we have we have the one guy who has all the like colorful clothing, who's afraid of like this supernatural kind of stuff. Like what's the word for it? He's very superstitious. And then there's the one guy who pissed in the drink that he gave to Giorno. And he seems to be teaching Narancia math and gets really pissed off when Narancia messes up or something. Stuff like that. And it's just like, I want to know all of their stands and see what they can do, you know? But that's kind of how all of these parts go at this point. With stands having been introduced in part 3, it's like, yeah, I want to know these new characters, what their stands are, what they can do. And that goes for characters who aren't even these our main team. I want to see more enemy stands. I want to see just some more allies pop up maybe and see their stands. Yeah, it's just, that's kind of one of the biggest appeals of JoJo right now. Not that the story or the characters in general aren't an appeal, for sure. I mean, this is an interesting story and definitely unique compared to the past parts. But at the same time, I'm still like still focusing a lot on the stands. Either way, though, we are going to get started because I do still have some other stuff to record for this weekend. I am recording this Friday, of course, but you're seeing this Saturday. But yeah, I have some other stuff to record, so yeah. Right. Anyway, so when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so this was another good episode. So continuing off of where we left off, Bucciarati's gang is on the boat headed towards Capri, where Pulpo's treasure is said to be. Or I guess where it is, I guess. But Zucchero's partner is already there. So Giorno and Mista head over to try and get a jump on him before the ship comes. They manage to do so. They manage to get a jump on him, almost messing up, but they manage to shoot him in the leg and get him on the run. But Mista is close behind and going for the kill with his stand, 6 bullets. So 6 bullets is a stand that has, well, 6 little stands to it that control the movement of the bullets in Mista's gun. They can move the bullets around, change the trajectory, all of that stuff. And like I said during the reaction, it's kind of like Whole Horse. If you remember in part 3, there was this character named Whole Horse who, he had this stand which was the gun. And the stand could shoot the bullets, and they would basically act like homing missiles. They would track the enemy and just keep going after them. They would change trajectory, they would move around and everything, turn and whatnot. Things bullets can't normally do. And it definitely reminds me of that. So in a way, I don't know if maybe I'm missing something, but it almost seems like it's not super original for his stand to be very similar to Whole Horse's. But I don't know. It's not bad by any means. I'm just saying it seems a little unoriginal. Having the multiple little stands reminds me of the Italian chef guy from part 4 as well. How his stand was those little tomato-like guys. Or actually, I think they were more peppers. Either way, the little ones who inhabited all the food that he made. It also reminds me of that a bit. But definitely with the ability itself, it's more like Whole Horse's. This other guy, though, Zucchero's partner, we don't know his stand yet. And at the end, it seemed like Mista was shooting at him, but we don't actually know if that's what happened, because it cut away. So that's going to be interesting to find out where this goes with the next episode. Now, 6 bullets. The stands and everything usually have a name corresponding to musician, an album, something like that. And I'm not sure what 6 bullets relates to. So I'm going to look that up real quick and see if I can figure that out. Because, yeah, I don't think I really know. Oh. Okay, well, I looked it up. I just typed in 6 bullets JoJo and found it right away. Obviously, that's another example of the name being changed for the localization. The original name is Sex Pistols. Yeah, I obviously know who the Sex Pistols are. So yeah, it's like, okay, that makes sense. And 6 bullets isn't even that far off, but yes, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that works out. So Sex Pistols. Either way, yeah, I thought this was a great episode, and it's only a part 1, so I assume next time, in the next episode, we're going to find out what Zucro's partner, what his stand is, and what it can do. Mista is assuming that it's a close-range, powerful stand, but we don't actually know that for sure. It's a good assumption. It's a fair assumption, but it might be a ruse. Now, Zucro's partner did seem legitimately scared of Mista. Like, he was, like, legitimately freaked out. Even when Mista first came around the corner in front of the window. At that point, he seemed like, wait, what's he doing here? And he seemed freaked out by it. So I'm thinking that this guy probably doesn't have, like, an extremely strong stand. He's probably not the most skilled or the most powerful stand user. Unless that's maybe just, like, a personality quirk. We've seen that with other characters where they have these unique personality quirks, and despite that, they're still powerful and whatnot. I mean, for crying out loud, Iggy was a dog. So it's not completely out of the question that maybe this guy's just a kind of a scaredy cat, but that his stand's still actually really powerful. It's very possible. I'm very interested to see, nonetheless. As always, if you know where this is going to go, like if you've read the manga and everything, do not tell me. I wish to remain spoiler-free. This is one of those series here that I'm reacting to that I especially want to remain spoiler-free on. Like, more so than a lot of the others. So please, keep things spoiler-free. If there's anything you want to add to what was shown in this episode, that's fine. If there's anything that I might be, like, misremembering, like, specifically about Whole Horse or whatnot, you can correct me on that if you need to. But don't tell me anything that's coming in the future. Okay? Just keep it spoiler-free for the future. And then in the meantime, yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. So, thank you all so much for tuning in. Tell me also in the comments below what you thought of this episode in general. And that dance scene, I almost forgot to mention that. It's like, what the hell was that? Even for JoJo, that was weird. But again, I loved it. It was fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles, shed tears along the way, you're still standing